Hey, Rocket Remote, it's your host, Kimber. Welcome back to the lesson Building Your LinkedIn Launchpad. In this episode, we are working up to your digital elevator pitch, and we're doing that by laying the foundation for your digital elevator pitch. What exactly are we working on? We are getting to know ourselves. We're presenting an authentic online image so you can attract opportunities that serve and align with you and your core purpose. So the goal here is to tailor that online image to attract your ideal job. Our course students, you have an editable LinkedIn worksheet on screen. It's in your course library. Another huge perk that we've included for our subscribers is you have a small library of other students who have completed this course containing their completed LinkedIn worksheets and their digital elevator pitches so that you can draw inspiration from what our fellow students have gone through. Now, if you're listening to the freemium version, which is on our podcast, you're going to need a pen and paper. We are working through this course and these exercises with my friend Michelle. Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Kimber.
Glad you're here with us again. In our last lesson, we studied core values together. In this lesson, we are building on progress and we are working toward that digital elevator pitch. I'm ready to get started. Michelle and everyone who's following along with us, let's move into the orange section of the worksheet because we are going to dive into what you're good at. Just like we did in the last lesson, I'm going to feed you some prompts and I want you to free write. If you need to pause the video to free write, please do so because that free writing is very important to your progress. So the first prompt I have for you is, at work, I know I'm really good at this. Fill in the blank and write in as many things as you know you excel at in the workplace. Your next prompt is, my friends recognize these skills make me unique. Now I want you to fill in the blank with anything that your friends would say that are good things about you, that make you unique. Toot your own horn, honey. Tell me what you slay at. Is it graphic design? Is it finance? Is it communication? Could it be email management? Could it be organizing a great carpool system? Are you a fantastic engineer? Is it patience? Is it kindness? Is it project management? It could be anything. There's nothing right. There's nothing wrong. Just free write. Michelle, I would really love to hear what you're good at right now.
Okay, so as I had my worksheet up, I came up with a few skills here. I've got writing, editing, reporting, communicating, creating. I'm going with the ing theme here.
Yeah, I hear that.
Responsiveness. I got scheduling, organizing, assisting, being a member of a team, listening, helping. I would say questioning. I had being inquisitive at first, so questioning and analyzing.
Yeah, I would agree that you are a very inquisitive and analytical person. I would also say you take feedback very well, just having worked with you for almost a year.
Thank you. What about you, Kimber? What did you come up with on your worksheet?
Okay, well, the first thing I put down is being a working mom. I'm going to go ahead and claim that I'm really great at that, even though I'm pretty new to motherhood. But I think that it's important to embrace that new aspect of my career. Another thing that I've put down is building a digital community. You know, we built VertForce from the ground up, started in 2018, and we now reach about 50,000 military spouses and service members in different capacities. Recruitment, marketing. I love IT. I'm really good at information technology. I'm great at laying out a vision and executing it. One thing that I love to say I'm good at is connecting military spouses and veterans and first responders to remote careers, and also creating meaningful content like what we're doing right now with these LinkedIn videos. And a big portion of that is project management. So thank you for asking. The next thing that we need to do in this course is to visualize your ideal scenario and remove fear and doubt. So the reason why we are leaning into this is if I can get you, Michelle, and our subscribers and our course students to get a really clear picture of what your perfect ideal scenario would look like. What it does is it takes this cap of fear and self-doubt off the top of your head and lets you throw it away. And it lets your brain live your ideal scenario and bring you closer to it. All we're doing here is we're using our imagination to visualize where we want to be. So course students, what we're doing now is we're moving into the purple section of your LinkedIn Launchpad worksheet, and we're heavily pouring ourselves into visualization here. And the reason why we're doing this is we want your imagination to run wild with you. If I can get you to imagine your ideal scenario, I can help you remove fear, I can help you remove self-doubt, and I can help you build confidence and excitement about what you really want to be pursuing and how we can use LinkedIn to harness it. And you're going to need all of this if you're going to fully harness LinkedIn and take advantage of it to pursue your next big step. So work with me here in the purple section. I'm going to give you prompts. Remember to pause the video if you need to stop and free write. Answer this question. My ideal offer letter would call me a what? My current skills qualify me to work as blank. And my next career step might be blank. All right, this could be anything, but let's use some really standard verbiage here. And when I say standard verbiage, I'm talking about words that are going to work in a search engine, not necessarily something like CEO of Super Happy Fun Time, right? That's not something that would typically be used in an applicant tracking system. Think terms like data analyst, director of operations, maybe instructional designer, maybe head of content. You can even use Google to start drawing upon areas where you might need inspiration if you need help. What I really want you to do in this section is insert the job title here you think would be the most fulfilling and the most complementary to your core values and skill set. Okay, Michelle, I'm very eager to hear what you came up with in this exercise. Do you want to walk me through what you've got?
Yeah, so I originally had freelance writer as my ideal job title, but that didn't really encompass the traveling I was going to be doing as a military spouse. And so I started Googling around, like, what is a writer or a journalist who has kind of more of that national pool of work? And I came up with national correspondent. Some other titles I also put down were reporter, content creator, freelancer, journalist, maybe editor, but really I think national correspondent is the one.
I love that. And thank you for stopping the course and going to Google and referencing things that really inspire you and things that match with the lifestyle that you're living. So course students, take a page from Michelle's book right now and go do some research on that appropriate title. And it's okay if you don't get it right immediately. You can come back and draft this. Michelle, do you want to share with us how long you've been working through this course so we can get a better insight into how many tries it took for you to land on national correspondent?
Yeah, so I mean, I would say at least a couple weeks even, because I would, settle in something and I would put it on my LinkedIn, I'd think about it, and then I just kept kind of refining it until I found something that was really more like my dream title instead of just what I thought was realistic at the time.
Yeah, and you've got to take your place. You've got to take your mindset out of this is what's realistic for me right now and place yourself one step ahead of that. I need you to get one full leap ahead of realistic and what you want, because that's what's going to help you on LinkedIn. But what I'm hearing is that you are leaning into part-time and flexible work, which is contributing to your overall well-being, but we're seeing alignment with your other core values too in those terms: content creator, remote, part-time, national correspondent. Now let's drop down to our green section in the editable LinkedIn worksheet. And here we're going to be talking about who you want to serve. And this is very simple. Here are your 2 prompts. My ideal employer is a company who helps or who serves, fill in the blank. The next prompt is my dream job would directly impact, fill in the blank. There are no right or wrong answers. You could want to impact nonprofits. You could want to work for major hedge funds. There's nothing wrong here. Be honest with yourself and talk about what's your ideal scenario. Michelle, who do you most want to help?
So I came up with, really overall, it's just people. And then more specifically, people who are in need of just maybe fun or inspirational, motivating writing services. So I also want to have that piece like with the flexibility and the part-time, the contract work where I can still maintain, contribute to my family's finances and then all of our overall well-being. So yeah, just stories about people who are doing really cool things and making a difference.
Yeah, I like that you've generalized it to people, but what I'm hearing too is you're making a difference. You're working with change makers. So you can classify them as people, but you can also classify them as change makers. For me, when I'm doing this exercise, what I continually come up with is I want to serve underserved remote career seekers, military spouses, and digital businesses. These are the demographics that I care most about because I think I align with those individuals, right? I count myself as a part of that community. So being a part of that community gives me a bigger heart for them. All right, we are shifting gears. On the next page of your LinkedIn worksheet, we are going to be working on your keywords. And this is going to be a huge foundational element to shaping your digital elevator pitch. So what are keywords? On screen here, I've got our definition. Keywords are informative words a writer uses to code a message, to communicate content or topic, to be decoded by a reader. So example, I need to know how to bake a chicken pot pie by next week. What am I going to search on YouTube? How to bake a chicken pot pie from scratch. So let's pretend this is for my grandmother's birthday. She loves them all made from scratch, okay? The key word I'm using there is from scratch, but I'm also using how to bake a chicken pot pie. Now I want to give you another example, which is going to show you a little differentiation in keywords. Let's pretend I need to make this chicken pot pie by 5 p.m. tonight. So instead of going to YouTube and saying, I need to know how to bake a chicken pot pie from scratch, I'm going to try how to bake a chicken pot pie quick. And that's going to give me a completely different list of YouTube videos to sort through, right? It's going to give me a completely different approach. So we need to identify what are your keywords so that when recruiters and employers are coming to LinkedIn and they're searching their keywords, they pick the ones that align with you. And that match is made in heaven, right? If you can identify what your keywords are, when the right employer comes along, they're going to find you. So why is this relevant? Remember, LinkedIn is a search engine. So your profile plus your keywords are going to be what attracts the right opportunities for you. So to attract that ideal job and to attract the opportunities that serve and align with you and your purpose, we've got to have these keywords right. So in the next section of your worksheet, start listing your keywords. Don't be intimidated by this. Don't let it mystify you. Just embrace them. They should be very easy to point out. All you have to do is glance over your responses from our last 3 exercises and look at those responses and say to yourself, if I were looking for myself in a search engine, what keywords would I be searching for? So I want you to look at your ideal job, look at what you're good at, look at who you want to serve, and identify from everything you wrote down what are keywords that need to be populating on your LinkedIn. I think this is a really good time to pass it to Michelle and let Michelle explain to us what keywords she came up with.
Yeah, I've got a pretty good list going here. So, towards the top, I've got creativity, I have writing, editing, responsiveness, and then working through some of our prompts, I've also got some words showing up like national, people. I changed, or I added recently, change makers. So, coming up with a pretty good list here.
These are really good, Michelle. And what I want you to do and what I want all of our course students to do is type them up on your keyword worksheet on the LinkedIn Launchpad worksheet. If you're listening to Freemium, write them all down. You don't want to lose them. This is something that you want to build on over time and refine over time. For inspiration, I will share some of mine. Mine are digital, community, recruitment, marketing, IT, information technology, military spouses and veterans, founder, CEO, remote, and virtual. Okay, so you should compile your list, pause the video if you need to. When we're finished and when we return, we are going to start sprinkling these keywords all throughout our LinkedIn profile, our headline, our cover photo. I promise you this is going to help you show up and show out on LinkedIn. It's going to help you gain traction in search engine results. It's going to help you flaunt your strengths and skills to stand out. We're wrapping up this lesson. Here's what we learned. We learned what we're good at, what our ideal job title is, who we want to serve, and the keywords that belong to us as authentic career seekers. So what's next? We've just finished your groundwork, and it's time to actually shape our LinkedIn content. In the next lesson, we are going to tackle probably the most important thing we're going to do in this entire course series, which is your digital elevator pitch. It's also the most fun. You're going to feel so accomplished when you get this part finished. So let's head into that next lesson now.